Hi everyone, I'm Kevin with My Shop Assist again. Today I'm going to do a video about how the new chat function works. In the new MSA, we did add the ability to text message with customers as well as messaging internally within your shop. The first thing you need to do to enable that is to go to the shop and the settings, and there will be a button here that says Enable Texting. If you click it, it takes about 3 or 4 seconds and a number will appear here. This number is essentially a VoIP number that we have assigned to your shop. It's static. It will stay with your shop, and that's how you'll be messaging people from. If you have this number is based upon the shop number you have. If this shop number is a VoIP number or a very recent area code, sometimes it is not able to find a phone number for your area. As well as you do need to make sure if you're in Canada that your country code says Canada here, and then it will be able to find a number. If you're anywhere else other than US and Canada, we don't have support for that yet. But the number that appears here, if it doesn't appear, just message us, email, call us, and we'll get it set up. It's fairly easy to do. So once you have a number, you can basically go into any job. So we're going to go into Ben Franklin example job again. At the top of the job is going to be a chat button here. If you click that, it's going to bring you into a chat pop-up that we have. We try to hide all the chat stuff in one area here. The first thing you're going to see is, you have on the left here side customers, you have your users, and then you have the chat window here. The first thing is internal chat. When you send a message like this, it's going to have a little red eyeball with a line through it. That means the customers cannot see those messages. They are not texted to the customer. They are internal only. You only be able to see it on this particular job. So when I'm looking at Ben Franklin's custom carriage here, if I go into the chat, I'll have the internal chat message here. So that's for local. Anyone at your shop, as long as they're looking at this job, can see it. The second way to message a customer is by clicking the customer visible button. If you click the customer visible button, it's now going to text the customer. And so what I will do is I will send this. And then once I have received it, the customer can reply back. So this is a two-way text messaging system. It's not just automated messages only. You can type in anything you want in there. It will send an initial message first that you will be able to see. And that is configured in the shop settings as well. So if you click on the shop settings and go into the gear, you will have like an introduction message. It will send this message one time and the first time that you text a customer. And it's basically to let them know that, hey, my shop is messaging you through this system here. That's what it's for. You can also send pictures both ways. So if I wanted to send a picture from a customer to the shop or from the shop to the customer, it works the same way. So in this case, I'm going to send a message from my phone to the shop. It takes a second to send it. And once we receive it, it will actually add it to the job's image profiles as well. So here you go. You can see we uploaded a picture. This is a broken clutch. I got some clutch material all over the pressure plate. In addition to this, this picture does get added into the photos and files for the job. So you can do it both ways. We can send pictures the other way. If you want to send a picture to the customer, you click customer visible, you click the attachment, and then you select the picture. And it will attach the picture and send it to them. So that's how you message the customers back and forth. We have some other things that you can do if you want to message the customer directly. So if you'll notice on the left here, we actually have two. We have Ben Franklin and the 1750 customer carriage. What we have done is we have tried to distinguish if it's a message with a job or a customer directly. So if you click on the customer directly, the name of the customer, it's only going to show the messages directly with the customer. So only things that were text messages. If you click on the job, we try to sort out messages related to the job. So that's going to include internal messages with the little red eyeball through it. and any text messages. The important thing to note is if you have a customer with a lot of jobs, we don't necessarily know what job the chat is going for, so we just default it to be the most recent job. And so if you have multiple jobs for one customer, it might be best to chat with them directly through clicking on their customer name rather than looking at an individual job. And so that's how that works. If you want to message employees directly, you can just use the users down here. And that will send other people at your shop a direct message. These are not text messages. These are internal only. So what will happen is the employee that you sent the message to, their little chat box up top here will have a red flashing dot on it indicating they have a message, and they can go in and they will see where it's from and they can click it and see the message. We do the same thing with the group chat. So you also have group chat here. That will send everybody a message onto this group chat. And the last way you can do messaging is if you click the MSA logo at the top. This is tech support. So that is going to send us a message at admins here, myself and our developers. And whenever you have a question, something's not looking right, you don't know how to do something, maybe you would like it to do something and it doesn't do it, any of that sort of stuff, just message us here and we can figure it out and fix it for you. Most of any bug finds, we fix them immediately. If you have any recommendations for features, we try to add them to our list and get to them when we can. So that's the tech support. In addition to messaging, we also do have some other stuff in here. So I covered this a little bit in the credit card processing. If you send somebody a request for payment, so this payment's amount for 0, so let's add a task to this to make the price non-zero. Okay, so we have an amount due on this invoice here. So we have $300 remaining balance. So if we make a payment and we go to credit card and we go to remote and click text, it will in fact send a request through the text messaging system for payment. So if we go back to the chat, you will see this text message. This is an auto-generated text message that gets sent to the customer. It does have a URL here that they can click. When they click this URL, it opens up the payment to make the credit card payment directly from their phone. So that's a handy way to use the chat as well. One other feature to note is since we can chat, and this is a static VoIP number, if you were to receive a message from someone that is not an existing customer, what we have done is any incoming messages to your phone number, we put a little box here with the phone number that you're receiving a message from. So if I send a message, it's going to appear here in a second here. Oh, there we go. And what you can see is this is a new message from a customer that isn't in your customer database. And what you can do is you can right click on it and you can create a job or create a customer from it. So if this person asked me to fix my Corvette, we could slide this window over here, right click on it, create a job from it. And you can add their customer information. The phone number is already populated. It's just an easy way for you to essentially funnel, sales requests, and you can make an estimate from it however you wanted to do it. And then if it were just spam or something that wasn't relevant or you're done talking to them, you can right click on it and you can hide the conversation. Additionally, if you were to call that phone number, what we do is we tag it as a phone call. So watch what happens here. If I call it, it's going to say phone call from the number. And then we forward that number, that phone call gets forwarded to your shop phone number. So you will actually be able to receive the phone call like a regular phone call. And that allows you to kind of tag when phone calls were made, and it's not quite a voicemail, but it is definitely a way to track who's been calling you. And then likewise, if you receive a new message, the little blinky light at the top here will be available for you to see. And the last thing we have is when you are creating a job. So I'll go actually to the step here. When you go to scheduling, we now can do appointment reminders via text message as well. So we had the email one before in the last version, but we've added text messaging. All you do is you click the text message, you pick a date, and then you have your message here. This default message is set in the shop settings, but you can change it as needed. Once it is saved, it will send a text message on this day and alerting the customer that their appointment is upcoming, or whatever your message says. So that's it. This feature is new to us, and we keep evolving it and making it better. But if you have any questions about how it works, feel free to just give us a shout. Thank you.